Everybody, welcome back to the Huddle, the competitive balance edition of the Huddle, the Review.com's high school sports show. I'm Rob Todor, executive editor of the Review, joined today by Bob Steer, our sports writer. And today, Bob, we're going to talk about competitive balance, which if the first, second, and third time you fail, try again. And finally, for the fourth time, the OHSAA's competitive balance issue passed rather convincingly. And so in 2016-17, we'll see some adjustments to the way schools are assigned tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. It did pass convincingly, which was a little bit of a surprise, but I know that they did, they took a lot of input from the different superintendents across the state and some athletic directors, and they tweaked a few things. They made a few tweaks, especially in the private schools, the way they're grouped, and some of those, just some minor tweaks that I think swung enough votes.
Yeah, and to just kind of summarize real quickly, all the schools will start out with their numbers is turned into the Ohio Department of Education, and each team sport, then how many athletes on your roster are from outside of your footprint, your school district footprint, or your private school footprint, then there'll be some sort of multiplier applied, and that'll kind of move some of those private schools and open enrollment schools up a little bit. And at the same time, schools that don't have those student athletes on their team are going to be moved down, obviously. So there's still some tweaking to go. One thing Dr. Dan Ross of the OHSA said, this is a good start, but it is a start. And they're going to probably take a look at it and do some preliminary numbers, I think, and maybe do some tweaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, in my opinion, it is a good thing that we've done something. I know there's strong opinions on both sides.
Yeah.
Do nothing, go all the way in complete separation. I think common sense prevailed in this vote that they went back, they tweaked things to appease enough, but something needed to be done. I think most people recognize that something needed to be done. It's just figuring out what. But you have to, at some point you have to take a step.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to take that first step, and the OHSAA members did that today, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think separation. I was against it. I think you were against it. I know, but because I think that's once you. My argument was for complete separation. Once that genie's out of the bottle, you can't put it back in again. And right. I think it was that was a final resort where I think there were so many steps that could have been taken. I think this is a good first step. I think the next step now probably is to see what they can do about Division I, because there's such a disparate number between the largest schools in the state, like a Mentor, and the smallest Division I schools in the state. Kent Roosevelt is one. Louisville locally is one of the traditionally smallest Division I schools, and you're talking a difference of 600 or 700 boys in 3 grades. Right. So I think that's probably the next step they have to look at.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it's more than double, more than twice the size of some of these schools they're having to compete. A Mentor versus, like you say, a Kent. So that, and from everything I've heard, that's definitely the next step that they're going to be looking at.
Yeah, and I know in football they took the top 10% of schools, and that was Division I. I mean, do you foresee maybe that is a good idea for the other team sports, and making a small Division I, and then the rest of the schools filling in?
It makes sense on the surface, just like every proposal. I'd have to look at all the details and try and figure out how it would play out. But I think the key is that people need to remain open-minded, and I think we're starting to see that. We saw that with the vote today. That something needs to happen, and eventually down the road it's going to need to be tweaked. But yeah, I mean, I think Division I is absolutely the next step, the next project that needs to be worked on.
Just for the record, that 10 to 15% for Division I is going to be called the Todor plan that I'm submitting to the OHSA in a couple of weeks. So make sure you check out the Alliance Review on Saturday. We'll have a full story from Mike Keating with local reaction to this development. It'll also be on the Review.com's website. And, of course, we ask you, if you have an opinion, please submit it either on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Alliance Review. You can contact us on Twitter. We'd love to hear your opinion on this development in the OHSAA. So until next time, for Bob Steer, Rob Todor, have a great day.